Meters altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking.
This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead. Ejecting.
Roger, Control. Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the next dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online.
Omega left. We're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready for lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets inbound.
You've got them on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no!
We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking.
This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead. Ejecting.
Roger, Control. Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the next dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online.
Omega left. We're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready for lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets inbound.
You've got them on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no!
We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking.
This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead. Ejecting.
Roger, Control. Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the next dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online.
Omega left. We're getting cargo secure. As soon as we're able to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets inbound.
We've got him on radar, Joel. Moving to intercept.
Oh no!
We're...
Pay attention to the paper doll. Make sure you guys are shooting the correct legs. Be careful of the collisions. I don't want to hear complaints about it. Work around it. Let's play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And when anybody's running short, is going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come at them.
I have you in the Griffin.
Sounds good.
Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill out, man. It's fine, it's just a fire starter.
Komm, Leute, redet miteinander.
15 seconds.
Yeah, exercise now.
Don't die.
Guys,
15 seconds, don't die.
guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Dar, CT, yellow. Okay, go to Charlie, see if we can get it.
There. To your left, there's a... Exercise.
So, jetzt gleich hinter die Indie-Pocken,
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on the barrel. Wire or strikes up.
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over.
Overheating is bad.
Both legs on the Griffin. Get the Griffin!
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. That was such a
That's right. I'm gonna spawn Lance, you guys in Charlie, Lance, you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Jetzt in die Breite, zieht dann in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurz Aufschaltung, Delta 4, 3 Stück, 2 Mediums einleiten, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox.
Laufen unter ECM, hab 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left. Charlie, a Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out.
Check yourselves. Make sure you've got, UAV cool shot.
Here they come. They're pushing hard, guys.
Decro. Tez on.
Go.
Whoa, got a contact here, Bravo 3. Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
Well, you cross it then. Get in their face. They got a highlighter. They just push up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta.
Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this.
Full pressure, guys. Full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3. Get the f***ing arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot.
Golf. I got him.
Go, P3, go.
Echo, go.
Get over on your medium, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow.
God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill. I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family.
forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is forward 1. You're running out of time. Target gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online.
Omega Lab, we're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're able to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets inbound.
You've got them on radar, Skull. Moving to intercept.
Oh no!
We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep them off you.
This is a query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control. Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is forward 1. You're running out of time. Target gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online.
Omega Lab, we're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're able to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets inbound.
You've got them on radar, Skull. Moving to intercept.
Oh no!
We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep them off you.
This is a query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control. Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is forward 1. You're running out of time. Target gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online.
Omega Lab, we're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're able to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets inbound.
You've got them on radar, Skull. Moving to intercept.
Oh no!
We're...
All right. Good evening, Mech Warriors. Welcome to another exciting MRBC cast. I am RJ Base 3, RJ Base, RJ Bass, RJ Fish, Doesn't matter. And with me again tonight, joining me for his second MRBC cast, is the one and only, the beautiful, the sexy Nutty Rat.
Hello, everybody. How you doing tonight? Hope you're ready for some great hot mech on mech action.
Yeah. Okay. Nutty and I did look at the VOD from last Tuesday's MRBC stream. We know that there were some audio issues during that. We tried to correct a couple of them on the fly, and we're trying something different out tonight for how we do the video and audio and everything, and hopefully that works. However, if you're noticing that he is just too loud or I'm too soft, please tag me in the Twitch chat so that it catches my attention easier. And keep in mind that there is a 5-minute delay. So if you tag me in the Twitch chat, it's going to be, and I see it, it's going to be at least 5 minutes before you actually see the results. I got a couple extra things up there we don't need to be seeing yet. We'll turn those off. All right, Nutty. What's going on tonight, brother? How you feeling? You good?
I'm good. I'm excited. We've got another fantastic evening of MRBC action here for a Div G match, which is going to be a lot of fun. I think we've got Dropship 4 versus 1CR.
Yeah, this is a match that, you know, Nutty and I picked up this match because it was really one of the only matches happening tonight. And of course, Saturday night's a night when we can both easily cast. Of course, the big night in MRBC, and it's been like this for a couple of years now, but the really big match night in MRBC is Thursday nights. And while Nutty and I would love to be able to cast a match on a Thursday night, unfortunately, we had a match ourselves because we both. I'm the captain of the 228 IBR Death from Above team, and Nutty is one of our players. And as you may have heard, it was Nutty's first ever MWO competitive match.
Yes, it was.
How'd you like it, Nutty? Give us your thoughts on your first MWO competitive match.
Well, you know, it was a lot of fun. It was. I mean, I'm a lot of people don't really know this because when you see me stream, I'm usually quite jovial and not very, kind of confrontational. Well, not really, but I'm actually a very competitive person. So getting into MRBC, getting a chance to drop with 228 Death from Above was really exciting for me. So I was super stoked to be able to do that. The match, the pacing of the matches, the way that everything worked, the coordination from both teams was absolutely amazing. The stress is real. The pressure is you definitely feel the pressure for sure.
Yeah, us being a team. For those of you who don't know much about 228 Death from Above, we have a lot of new players on our team, players that have never done MWO competitive before. So we're kind of that introductory competitive team for the 228 IBR. A couple of us on the team have several seasons of competitive play experience, but most of the team, the majority of the team, had, up until Thursday night, had zero MWO competitive experience. So we got a little bit more pressure on us, I think, than a couple of the other 228 teams, you know, because it basically, you know, we have to prove ourselves to the unit, and plus everybody keeps predicting that we're going to win the division, so there's all that extra pressure on there as well too. So
all the pressure.
But yeah, it makes for a very stressful time. You can hear it in a lot of our voices in the videos of the drops. And speaking of the videos, if you want to see videos from the player's perspective of many of the MRBC matches that you probably wanted to see but they weren't casted, they are all available on mrbcleague.com under the videos section. You got the past VODs from Twitch, as well as the uploaded match casts from individual players. So that's all available on mrbcleague.com.
Excellent. Yeah, make sure you check those out because, you know, a lot of these teams, you know, especially after our first comp drop, I can appreciate the amount of work that the teams put into to actually kind of, you know, to kind of putting their best foot forward, to being in that competitive scene, to being in that competitive drop. It is a lot of work, and it's really fantastic to see. I mean, we're going to go over quite a few drops, but just to kind of talk about ours just for a moment. I mean, it was a tough drop against a very well organized opponent, and it was definitely, I'll say, refreshing to have to kind of have an MWO experience like that. So I'm really looking forward to casting more of these matches and to being able to go back and watch some of these matches from a player perspective as well, to kind of see kind of how the different teams play.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
Continue.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because there's especially when you get down to the lower divisions, Division D and down, there's always a bit of speculation and guesswork that has to go into how certain teams are going to behave and perform when in a comp drop. Because like going into our match on Thursday, we played Arc 7. We didn't know hardly anything about that team. And of course, Smoke Adders, they played Zeta last night. I think it was last night. And they didn't know much about Zeta either. I mean, we worked with Smoke Adders quite a bit in the preseason, but and then you get down into some, past Division E and D. You got divisions F and G and F and G. I was gonna say F and G. It's kind of, but there's just so little known about so many of those teams. But we got two teams tonight that I think we know a little bit about. With Dropship 4. I mistakenly said last Tuesday that they were the entry-level team for Dropship 5, and it turns out that's not the case. Well, they have a Sorry, go ahead.
Are they associated with Dropship 5, or are they their own separate?
Only as friends. The players in Dropship 4 are not fledgling Dropship 5 players. They do share the same TeamSpeak. They are all friends, but Dropship 4, outside of that, outside of a friendship, Dropship 4 and Dropship 5 are their own separate units and separate teams altogether. So I was told that they were the entry-level team for Dropship 5, but I was mistaken in what I was told. So I was corrected actually after the cast on Tuesday. So I wanted to make a point to correct that.
Sure.
Tonight. So. Well, Nutty, what do you want to talk about first? We have we set this up when we did the cast on Tuesday. Nutty and I gave ourselves 30 minutes to do pre-stream talk and hype. We actually ran out of time.
Yeah, so we thought we'd give ourselves a little bit more time to be able to kind of talk a little bit more about MRBC, especially from if you're new to the competitive scene, you kind of trying to figure out what the MRBC League is all about. Then we gave ourselves a little bit extra time so we can talk a little bit back and forth. RJ is a seasoned professional in MRBC, having played a few seasons. I'm brand new, not only to the casting desk, but also to MRBC as a competitor. So I mean, you kind of have like two sides of the coin, right? RJ knows a lot of things, and I'm green. I just talk into a camera.
Well, you are learning pretty quick though.
I hope so. I don't want to drag the team down.
No, you're doing well. You're doing well.
So before we get into the opponents today, Dropship 4 versus First Crucis Recon Razor. Can't even talk.
It's hard to say, isn't it?
It is. So I'm just gonna call it 1CR. No disrespect to 1CR. I just don't want to stumble over your name constantly. But let's maybe kind of just rewind just a little bit and just take a look at the rules here. So for those of you who are new to MRBC, you have to understand that we do have kind of some basic rules that we all have to follow. So let's kind of go over, I'll say just the basic kind of rules that we generally have to go by. We'll talk about the map and drop rules. Do we want to talk rep points again?
Yeah, I think so, because I think a lot of people don't understand how the rep points thing works.
Sure.
Actually, I'll turn that off and I'll blow up. I made a simple graphic for the rep points. But go ahead, Nutty.
Right.
Tell us about the rep points.
Okay. So let's talk about rep points. So I'm taking this right from the MRBC League website, mrbcleague.com. So the way that MRBC works is that you've got your 5 drops, and then you earn a certain amount of rep based on what happens within the drop. So there's 5 unique drops. So we'll have, before we can really explain rep points, let's very quickly just go over what the drops are for MRBC. So again, it's out of 5 drops. It's not a best of. It's not like a best of 5, but we have to play all 5 drops. Drop 1 is domination, and you have 4 lights and 4 mediums. There's no lock-on weapons allowed, so no streaks, no LRMs, no ATMs. In drop 2 is when we move from domination mode to conquest. The first drop is always domination. The last 4 drops are conquest. Drop 2 conquest is 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies. Drop 3 has a commander mech, or I'm not sure what the actual term is, whether that's
the game mode is Commander Assassination.
Commander Assassination. Okay, so Commander Assassination in drop 3, where you have 3 mediums, 4 heavies, and 1 assault, but it has to be either an Atlas, a King Crab, or a Direwolf. It has to be one of those 3 100-ton mechs. Drop 4 is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults. And then drop 5 is 2 lights, 2 heavies, and 4 assaults. We had the strike ban, which we'll talk about, and what the results of those are.
Let's go into that now a little bit, because we said we were going to talk about that last week or last Tuesday, and we didn't really go into a lot of detail about the strike ban thing.
Sure.
If some of you, if you guys follow the MWO comp scene at all, you may remember a lot of the talk that was happening after Worlds 2017, when we were watching Worlds 2017, it was just strike after strike after strike going down. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people felt like it didn't benefit the comp scene at all, because the comp scene should be all about individual player skill. And so when the new season of MRBC was being formalized, initially, the graphic that you see on screen right now with all the drops, it initially had strikes crossed off in every single one of the drops. They were just going to do a blanket ban on strikes. But then we had a team vote, because there were still some team captains, me being one of them, who wanted strikes in the game, because we saw a certain we like a certain aspect of them, like if you're going up against a team that's doing the long-range sniping game, how they can park somebody in certain positions on the map and then just be parked there that whole time. Mm-hmm. And we could use strikes then to hopefully dislodge that person from that particular spot, get them to move, and force them to have to do something different. Ooh, I hear sirens. Are you in trouble? Yes. Are they coming to get you?
Yeah, I live in a really busy neighborhood. Hang on, I'll mute myself while you're just make sure it doesn't bother you.
No, I just want to make sure you weren't going to get squatted right here. But so basically, with some people wanting strikes and some people not, the MRBC admins decided that they would put it up to a vote for team captains. And when the vote was said and done, strikes were brought back into the game. However, strikes aren't as bad. They can't be as bad as they were when we were watching Worlds, because as we know, PGI has nerfed quite a bit about strikes. The airstrikes they don't cover as much area anymore. There's a longer cooldown in between. So there's been a lot of things that have happened with strikes that have made them not as effective as what we saw during Worlds. They're still there. They're still there plenty. Teams are bringing them, but we just don't see them being. And while they still are very effective, they're not nearly as effective as they were during Worlds. Would you agree, Nutty?
Yeah, for sure. Strikes are definitely less of a fishing expedition than they are now. Like, now you have to be very deliberate in where you plant your strikes. It's no longer just, I wonder if somebody is on the other side of this mountain, let's go ahead and throw a strike out. You know, instead, it's is there somebody standing behind that rock that I can't see? That's really about the kind of the effective distance that you get. So it's way less of a team punishment, but a little bit more of I'll say static placement punishment. If somebody knows that you're standing behind a rock, that you're going to get punished for it, but it's not going to be anywhere near as overpowered as it used to be. I mean, RJ, you're right. When you're looking at you look at the kind of play at the World Championships, there were really super long strike lines everywhere you looked, and now it's way more condensed, way more. It's more competitive, I'll say.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know, I like with the nerfs that have gone into place. I like them being in MRBC, but there's still some that disagree with that, and that's totally fine too. All right,
and that's okay, because one of the things that I will point out, we'll move on from strikes here, and we'll talk about rep points. But just before, I will say when I think about our practices, that forcing us to not use strikes means that we were focusing more on our weapon fire, our focus fire, our positioning, our communication. It helped kind of make us we had to rely only on the weapons on our mechs, because we had no supplementary weapons anymore. No third-party call-ins that we can do. So it kind of helped us to grow from a let's aim better category. So in the end, it actually helped us.
Oh yeah, I think so. And I think that's why maybe during practices, I think it's a good idea for teams to not use strikes, because it does help with the teammates trying to get better numbers just from their direct fire weapons. And if you add in strikes after that fact, and it can really help make a team much better further down the road, I think.
Right, for sure. All right, so let's get into reputation rewards. Like I said, at the outset, there's the 5 drops, and you get certain rep points based on certain things that happen during the course of those 5 drops. So we're taking this right from the rule book. So you got first of all, there's the I'll say the biggest boost of rep points, and that is 300 points for winning a drop. And it doesn't matter how many mechs have been destroyed. If you win a drop and you only have 1 mech left in your out of your 2 lances, that is still a 300 point win for you. There are 25 rep points for each enemy mech destroyed by the losing team in both Conquest and Domination. And then some other things here. So we have plus 50 for destruction of any 5 mechs in drop 1, plus 50 for destruction of any 5 mechs in drop 2. So it gives you incentive to actually focus on killing the enemy team rather than winning by countdown timer or by
the objective.
Exactly. So it does make it for a little bit more exciting drops. And then you get to drop 3, where we have this where we have the mech commander, the Atlas, the King Crab, or Dire Wolf. So if you kill the enemy commander mech in drop 3, but yours survives, you get another 50 rep points. But if both mechs die, then there's no bonus at all.
Right.
So again, an opportunity for you to gain a little bit of rep points there. The next up is plus 50 for destruction of all heavy and assault mechs in drop 4, and then plus 50 for destruction of all enemy assault mechs in drop 5. And there's also some supplementary rep points, RJ. You can talk to those a little bit.
Well, the supplementary ones are just plus 10 points for any drop video that you upload to the MRBC website. Well, basically, upload to YouTube and then you link it on the MRBC website. And that's when it actually goes back to something I was saying earlier. If you want to see drop videos from the player's perspective, there are tons of them up on the MRBC website in the videos section. And each team that submits one of those gets an extra 10 points per drop video submitted, for a total, they can get a total of 50 for the match. And that may not seem like that much in the beginning, but over the course of a season, if a team keeps submitting those drop videos and gains that extra 50 points per match, they can actually add up over the course of a season. And in some cases, when especially in some divisions, when towards the end of the season, when you got a couple teams that are running neck and neck with their rep points over the course of the season, those drop videos can actually make quite a big difference. So
yeah, for sure. And by the way, like, you know, winning drops doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win the entire, you know, kind of win the farm. You can at least get a really, you know, a fairly big boost to your overall rep scores from all of these, I'll say, kind of non-winning related rep points. So the recordings, the you know, the commander mechs, the number of mechs that are destroyed. It definitely narrows down the gap.
Definitely, there have been matches where a team only won 2 drops during the match, but still won the match because of the amount of rep points they earned during the match. Even I've seen it happen multiple times in the past. It's not uncommon. Well, Nutty, what do you say we take a look at some of the recent results and divisions here? What do you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely, we've had a fantastic first week of MRBC action. We've got teams that we have still a couple teams that are submitting the results. We're down to a couple teams here. I see, RJ, since you and I started speaking this afternoon, a couple of them actually have gone through and submitted. So, team captains, if you are listening, make sure you submit your results before tomorrow. Yeah,
team results need to be submitted. The screenshots. The screenshots from the end of the match need to be submitted. You need to get all that in. It looks like we're just waiting on one from the 12th of April. Russian Jade Falcon versus BSMC. And it looks like most of the rest have been posted. When we look at the league tables, though, this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to zoom it in for you guys so you can see it a little bit better. When we look at North America, you see all these zeros still happening in a couple of these divisions, especially Division B. Did Division B not play any matches this week? Did they have a bye week? Because there hasn't been a single match reported.
There must have been, because I don't see really any of them in there.
No.
I see Goon versus Sig is on the 15th.
Yeah, are we cast now, or is that me and Mikado? I think that's me and Mikado.
It's you and Mikado, yeah.
Yep, so giving a quick look at the divisions, you can see the current standings for each team in the division. Again, at mrbcleague.com, and just click on League Tables. You can get
sorry, pardon me, the Mech the Dane is going to be casting Goon versus Sig tomorrow.
He is?
Yeah, that's what I see in the... That's what I see on the little Twitch button beside their.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's new. Goon vs Sig. That's. Which one did we get? Oh yeah, we're doing. Mikado and I are doing Davian Strike Force versus Goon. So Goon's gonna have two casts in the first 2 weeks. Wow, they're popular. Anyways, yeah, come back to the league tables, though. We can see the current North America standings based off of who has reported their scores. You know, we can't speak highly enough to team captains reporting scores. I usually do it after our drops. I usually do it right after the drop. Just get the score up there, get it updated so that I don't have to worry about it anymore. But currently, Smoke Adders are leading North America Div A, and that's not something that I would have predicted early on, but 228 Blackwatch and Isengrim, who were supposed to play this week, actually ended up putting off that match until next month, so they haven't even played their first match yet. 42 has not reported their scores yet, and 228 Swamp Foxes have not reported their scores yet, but since 228 played Dropship 5, you can kind of get an idea how that match went right there.
Yeah.
And Division B, of course, we don't have any scores reported yet. Got a couple in Div C. Eyes are currently leading Div C with Clan. Apparently, they played Clan Widowmaker. Got the best of them there. Div D, we casted that match on Tuesday. That's the match that Nutty and I casted. Smoke Adders 173rd versus Aces Wild. Aces Wild pretty much blanked Ace, or Smoke Adders pretty much blanked Aces Wild with a 5-0 win over the Aces there. And then Div E was pretty hot between Thursday and Friday. Of course, our team, 228 Death from Above, played Arc 7. We won 3 drops to 2 on that one. And then Zeta played the Smoke Adders 505 and won 4-1. I actually want to see the results. We should take a look at the results from that, because that was not something that I expected at all. That's really interesting. Going down to Division F, 39th Raptors currently have first place over the first Free World Guards. 2 teams haven't reported there. And then Division D, Omega Galaxy, Raging Bears in first place, having been the only team to report scores down there in Div G. So, but that's what we're going to see a little bit of tonight. Dropship 4 versus 1CRR.
That's right, and the good thing with the interesting thing about Div G is one of the entry-level divisions into MRBC. So we will see some gameplay tonight that you might not expect to see, and that's, I'll say, that's why I do like watching some of these some of the lower divisions, because you get to see a lot of uniqueness. It's, you know, as you go up, everyone's gets really set in their strategies, but down in the lower tiers, I posit that they're actually going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I kind of like. We're going to be doing some casting of the upper divisions as well, but I do like casting these lower divisions because you're just never quite sure what to expect, except for maybe one thing that is pretty common in the lower divisions is brawl. So. All right,
which means that we'll have to talk very quickly, very fast. I better stock up on some caffeine here.
Let's take a quick look at that Smoke Adder Zeta results, because that to me was interesting. Like I said, I did not expect it. We can see the basic breakdown right here. Smoke Adders getting 1 drop to Zeta's 4 drops. The bonus was had by Zeta and drop 1, 4, and 5. Smoke Adders got the bonus for drop 2. For a total of 600 rep points for Smoke Adders, 1,400 for Zeta. But let's take a look at the screenshots, shall we? Just kind of take a look at what these guys brought. I'm looking at. I don't know which. Let's see. Oh, this is Rubelay. This was in the beginning. We should probably look at a different one, because that's a pretty self-explanatory drop. Here's the Caustic Valley drop, and you guys can see all that. We're good there. Looking at Zeta's mechs, an Orion 2CA, Stormcrow Prime, another Orion 2CA, an Orion VA, Warhammer 6R, Atlas D, Hunchback 2C, and Assassin 21C. Yeah, that definitely looks like they went full brawl there. Seeing the same thing from Smoke Adders too, so that just kind of tells me that maybe they got out brawled there. But
yeah, but looking at the scores there, you see that unfortunately one of the Orions got shut down. It looks like they got shut down pretty early, with only 8 damage. But look at that other Orion, the Orion VA. 1,200 damage, and that's pretty that's impressive,
especially in an 8v8.
Yeah, well, but I guess in some respects it's kind of what you would expect from an Orion, because you know the Orion is a tanky mech. Looking at the other teams, looking at Smoke Adders, for the most part, I mean their teams are their group is pretty balanced as far as damage is concerned. Aiden Pride being really the only outlier. But the rest of their team, I mean, the kind of the damage numbers are pretty close together. So they were definitely all really engaged in the fight. But you can see here that both of their commander mechs did go down, so neither of them got the 50 rep point bonus here.
No. Just taking a quick look at some of the other drops. This is the Terra Therma drop. This is the one that the Smoke Adders won, and just seeing more brawl mechs. 2 Warhammer 6Rs for Smoke Adders there. It's interesting. And then Tourmaline looks like, oh, they brought a, Zeta brought a Jenner 2C. Interesting. But it's just interesting because smoke adders, I mean, we scrimmed with smoke adders quite a bit in the preseason, and that was just not something that we were expecting there. So, and of course we have a vested interest in Div E because, well, we're Div E.
That's our Div. We're Div E.
We're Div E. All right, we got about 15 minutes till match time. I'll tell you what, Nutty, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, and then let's go over the teams real quick. What do you think?
Alrighty, sounds good. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
All right, be right back.
Now, the only thing I don't know is whether RJ kept me up on screen or not. Well, if he did, I will. The problem is, of course, with everything on a 5-minute delay, I can't see anything.
All right. What's chat saying? Anything good here yet? Have we screwed up yet?
Oh, I think. Well, there was a few things about volume, which I took care of that on my end, so I think everybody should be good.
Wait,
lots of people are excited. A few Raging Banana is shocked at seeing the 45-minute preview stream.
Well, you know, like I said, we did this on Tuesday, and we actually ran out of time with 30 minutes. So, Nutty and I talked about it, and we said maybe we just extend it 15 minutes. So, oh, we don't need the timer up on there anymore.
The only thing I didn't know is whether when you had walked away, whether you had the cameras up or not. Because I was like, I hope people aren't waiting for me to say something.
Yeah, camera was up.
And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I better say something.
They were just staring at your purdy face.
They were just staring at my, and people are used to like Nutty wears glasses,
right?
Like what? Snow Girl was like, yeah, it's smart, Nutty. Like, I actually wear glasses. I mean, people probably are just not used to me, used to seeing me without my headphones on.
All right, we're taking a look at Dropship 4 here. There's a couple names on this list that I recognize. I think who's the main guy here? I'm trying to remember his name. I just met quite a few of these people tonight. I think my team list might be outdated because Metroid is their leader. Do you see his name on the list? I'm looking at my list and I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, Metroid is team lead. Yeah, I see him as team lead and in the pilot roster.
He's one that we definitely want to. He's not showing on my list. That's weird. But I got it up on stream, and I don't see his name in there. That's really weird. But yeah, Metroid is their team leader. They have a couple other players on there. Axe 64. Spooky Scary Skeleton is also a pretty good player. Again, no MRBC experience for these guys, but they do have a couple of pretty good pilots. I mean, a couple of those names, you know, they do stick out to me. Anybody in there particular stick out for you, Nutty?
Well, taking a look at the D4 roster, there's a few folks there that I have that I have run across in quick play. Spooky Scary Skeleton, I've run into him quite a few times. You know, solid player, really good communicator. I'll say fun to play with and fun to play against. Just taking a look here. There's one other, I thought, Nexus Ward. That's right, Nexus Ward is the other mech pilot that I've run into.
Okay.
And so you know, like again, like a decent you know, a decent list of pilots. But again, like when you get into some of these lower divisions, that there's a lot of, you know, again, people that are just coming into it, that people you might not really know yet, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad. They're just unknown.
Right.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, right? I agree.
Yeah. So it's definitely it definitely makes these matches, I said, you know, so again, like a lot more, you know, a lot more exciting, for sure. So let's head over. Let's go over to 1CR and take a look at this roster. This roster is a little bit more familiar to RJ and I, only because we do actually we play with some of the players in this team quite a bit. Of course, we got the team lead, Father Bill. Eldwin is there. Let me see here. Who else we got? We got Stella Star Slayer.
Yeah,
Stella Star Slayer is one of those guys that you just ask for a build for a mech and he'll throw you like 50. he is like a mech science guy. You've got Bombing Jupiter. It's Jyler Tag. Again, you know, a lot of these folks we've come across in quick play. RJ and I have you know, interacted with these folks in our own Twitch streams. Of course, Father Bill is one of the MechCon VIPs.
Yeah, everybody knows who Father Bill is. I think that's one of the. I mean, first you got Dropship 4, a new team that are good friends with Dropship 5, a top tier count team, and then you got Father Bill's team here. I think those are the two probably biggest reasons why people were actually interested in this match, because it you got a couple of notable things happening here. I look at 1CR's team list here, and I recognize quite a few of those names. You mentioned Eldwin. I also saw Overton Wolf. I've known him for quite a while in this game. Yeah, Jyler Tag on there, Stella Star Slayer. Yeah, these, you know, but these people we recognize obviously from our streams. I'm actually very curious to see how they come together in a competitive setting. You know, away from Father Bill's stream, away from your or my stream. It's gonna be really interesting to see what these guys have been working on and how they've been bringing this team together here.
Exactly, yeah, and you know, all of these folks we know them. Well, some of these folks we know fairly well, so it'll be great to see them in a competitive environment. You know, again, I can fall back to kind of my own personal experience in that I do play very differently in quick play than how I play in competitive play. Even down to the way that I act. I may or may not rage a little bit in competitive play, but. So you know, just because you kind of run into a pilot in quick play, you know, you're not necessarily seeing what their full capabilities are, because competitive play is just a whole different story.
I concur. All right.
So we're getting pretty close to the first drop, aren't we?
We are about 7 minutes away. Let's what do you say we take a quick look at the maps for tonight?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and look at the maps and let's see what we've got going on. Let me actually open this up very quickly here. Where are my maps?
Yeah, first drop tonight. First drop will be on Rubile Oasis. It is domination game mode, as Nutty mentioned earlier today. This drop 1, is typically a toss-up drop. It really comes down to who can focus fire the best. It almost always turns into a brawl because it's all lights, all mediums, and it's in domination, so you have to at least keep somebody within that green magical circle there. So in the 228, we kind of call it the toss-up drop. Is, you know, whichever team is just a little bit better in focusing their fire, they're gonna win. It's who can get the most legs first, who can just beat the other team to the punch there. It's not uncommon to see a team that may not be doing very good in all the rest of the drops pull off several drop 1 victories throughout the course of a season. And then drop 2, what's drop 2? Is that Terra Therma?
Yeah, drop 2 is Terra Therma, which is basically the easiest way to sum up week 1 is it's all hot maps.
Yeah.
Plus River City, because, you know, River City is just just needs to be there. But yeah, so Terra Therma is next up, and it's the first conquest drop that we have. And what we've been seeing here is a lot of brawl, just a lot of brawl all around Theta.
Yeah, heat conserving mechs, night gyres are typically very popular on this map. I just got moved on TeamSpeak for some reason.
Huh. Uh-oh, are they looking up? They looking to find you?
They're not saying anything to me. I told them to poke me if they needed me. But, I don't know. Dropship 4 just threw me into their room. I don't know. I'll wait till they poke me.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous. All right.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go through the maps? I'm going to unmute in there and see what's going on.
All right. So we do have drop number 2 is Terra Therma, as we were talking about. And we have been seeing a lot of brawl action on this map. Of course, it's a hot map. It's got a lot of hot places. So it does make it a bit of a challenge for a lot of these teams. Then the next up, drop 3, which is Commander Assassination. That is in Caustic Valley, and Caustic Valley has been, I know for us, it's been like a real hit or miss type map, which is, hang on, let me switch that up here. Realize I'm talking about this, I better pull this up. There we go. Caustic Valley Conquest is in drop 3. Again, another really hot map, especially around the Caldera area. You know, this area right here, assuming that I can see the map strat, you know, this area here is absolutely brutal to your heat sinks. If you end up getting up there, your heat sink efficiency drops to near 0. Another good map for night gyres or things other than primary laser vomit. Though you can, if you know how to. If you know how to control your heat, you know, have a little bit of fire discipline. Then we get into drop 4. Drop 4 is of course Tourmaline Desert, and I think all of us are familiar with this map. This is one of the most widely played maps in competitive play. It's usually either Tourmaline Desert or it is Canyon. in a lot of competitive matches. So this map is great because there are opportunities for both long-range play and also some really effective brawl strategies. From our perspective, from the scrims that we've done and the one match that we did have that we've had so far within DFA, we have seen both of those types of battles here in Tourmaline, and I'll tell you, both are very effective. Then we get to the final drop, which is the heaviest drop, and that is River City. River City Conquest, of course, is very much it's one of those maps that can really go either way. With all the building cover, it does it can kind of lean towards brawl or mid-range trade as a strategy. But if you're able to take these upper points, if you're able to, if you're able to effectively get, like the airport area or the area around Upper City, this will help. This actually, where we see a lot of teams kind of dominate and do very well because they have a lot of superiority around the map. So unless an enemy team is able to get into, say, the city area in Gulf 7, Gulf 8, Fox 7, Fox 8, or if they're able to stick far back in, I'll say the kind of the 5-line area, either Upper City or in the Lower City, again, it's one of those things where you can still get a little bit of long-range trade, and we saw that with the Aces Wild match that we casted the other day. So those are the 5 maps rather that we're going to be dropping with. I can see that right now RJ is in the midst of getting all of the.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Father Bill's team in here, but Father Bill doesn't actually have the lobby, so.
Oh no! Okay.
I have to. And then the people in Dropship 4 only brought me into the room because somebody in the room thought I needed to be in there to talk to them.
Oh.
They didn't realize I was actually holding another channel.
Ah.
Okay, I think I might have. I'm gonna re-invite him just in case. That one.
So we're just in the midst of sorting out the first drop right now. We're getting we have D4 in here. We're just getting Father Bill's unit in. on 1CR, and then we can get the first drop underway. Rubelite Oasis, Domination,
Yeah,
4 lights, 4 mediums.
Oh, that's right. We still don't have Rubelite in the doohickey majiggy yet. Let's see. Turn that on and that on. All right. Yep. Rubelite Oasis. 4 lights, 4 mediums. 1CR is in the lobby. Teams are working out all the details there about getting their lances set. We are almost ready to go here. I'm excited. Div G, feel the power.
Feel everything. This is, like I said, we have no idea what's gonna happen here.
I'm predicting brawl.
You're predicting brawl?
I'm predicting brawl. Typically in the lower divisions, we see a lot of brawl. In fact, if you're one of those brawl heads, if you're sick of the long range trade that we typically see in the upper divisions, and you want to see your brawl matches, Div D and down is typically where you get a lot more brawl over long range and mid range trade.
All right, taking a look at the drop, we've got D4 has locked their lances. They are set and ready to go. Just waiting for 1CR to finish their lance adjustments and announce that their lances are locked and that they're ready to go. And then we can get the first MRBC drop of the evening, at least for this group, started. Again, this is for Rubelite Oasis Domination. 4 lights, 4 mediums, which usually means a pretty fast-paced brawl match.
Yeah. We should let you guys know that we are going to have a couple giveaways during the stream after drop 3, and right before we end the stream, we're going to be giving away a couple of MWO care packages. Care packages consist of 24 hours of premium time, a mech bay, and 1,000 MC, and we're going to have 2 of those to give away to you guys tonight. So if you do win, shoot me a whisper on Twitch, and after the stream is done, you will get your codes. All right, looks like they're ready. What do you say we do this, Nutty?
Are we ready to do this? Are we ready to do their first drop?
Yep, I think so.
All right, here we go, folks. Drop 1, Dropship 4 versus 1CR. Don't forget your scene.
I got the scene. Thank you, though.
Next. I'm trying to remember to remind you.
Although my scene is just showing a black... Oh, there it goes. OBS was just showing me a black screen. I couldn't figure out what was going on there.
Oh, that was probably the first time switching to it.
Yeah. All right, we are on Rubelite. We're just waiting for the drop ships to come in. I'm on Dropship 4's side. I'm gonna get the music paused here.
I think we both are, but I'll head over to the other side.
Still waiting for those drop ships. Here we go. Got team info coming up. Drop ships are flying in. And I'm looking at one of the Dropship 4 dropships coming in right now. Right out of the gate, I can tell you the Dropship 4 brought an Urban Mech R63, a Bushwhacker P1, a Jenner D, a Nova Prime, a Huntsman B, a Mislinks B, a Hunchback 2CC, and a second Urban Mech.
You know what? We saw the first Urban Mech drop that we saw before. It was very, very effective.
Yeah, and I admit we started sciencing, and after we looked at it, it's a fun little mech to play.
It is. All right, on the 1CR side, we've got a Huntsman B, a Hunchback 2C, a Mislinks, an Arctic Cheetah, another Mislinks, so there's their duplicate, an Assassin 23, a Javelin, and a Centurion.
No urban mechs over there?
No urban mechs. We can see 1CR is moving their way along the top, sticking to the high ground as they are grouping up on this one side of the map. I do apologize, I don't have the grid squares for you. But
PGI, please.
Yes, I believe it's Delta 5 where they are. Delta 5, Delta 6.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too, but I'm not positive. Looks like first engagement's getting ready to happen. Strikes are already starting to go out. Yeah, these guys are brawling straight into each other. Upper level brawl. I'm going to get myself into one of those urban mechs so we can see the action.
And the exchange has started. We can see that the urban mech, one urban mech did peak and took a lot of damage. Meanwhile, oh, the dropship 4 bushwhacker comes over. Father Bill takes down the first mech from dropship 4.
This urban mech is just going ballistic. 3 heavy machine guns, 3 medium pulse lasers. He's not receiving. I'm looking through Axe 64's urban mech, and nobody's looking at him. He's just able to let loose with those machine guns and lasers, and he's hardly taking any damage.
Yeah, we can see a lot of machine gun fire here, but the 1CR, they're getting really good at focusing their fire. They've taken down now 4 of dropship 4, but 2 mechs on. Oh, there we go. One of those has gone that one Beard self-destructing. He got one of their mislings, 33% health remaining. Father Bill, 46%, but still going strong. You can see the dropship 4 is now trying to focus their fire. Spooky Scary Skeleton and the Hunchback 2C is sticking behind and looking for back shots, while 1CR is working on the rest of the dropship 14.
Father Bill was finally dropped. He's definitely putting in a good match though from this one. I can't see the score because I was in a mech.
All right, so it is 3-3. We have 3 left on either team, but you can see the dropship 4 does have an advantage in tankiness here. We have an urban mech, a hunchback, and a general left, whereas on the 1CR team, you got a mislinks with only 2 lasers. Oh, and there we go. Spooky Scary Skeleton is taking down another one, and another one! An Assassin 23, which leaves just the mislinks, which only has 2 heavy small lasers. What a brawl, ladies and gentlemen. That was absolutely great. What was great about this is that it really could have gone either way that whole time. But
it seemed like it, because Father Bill got the first kill for 1CR there, and I was thinking it was probably going to go 1CR's way, but it meant, yeah, dropship 4 won. You want to go over the scores? Review those scores here while I set us up in the overlay.
All right, let's take a look. You can see that the dropship 4 ended up actually having quite a bit of damage here. But that urban mech. Wow. The urban mech and a hunchback 2C taking the top damage at 575 and 602 respectively. With Spooky Scary Skeleton being the VIP of that particular map with 5 kills and 2 assists. Over on the 1CR side, you can see that Father Bill did quite decently, 346 damage. That one Beard was able to take 2 mechs with him before his mech sadly self-destructed. But you can see a decent spread of damage over both teams. But one thing I'll say about the first drop is that it really can go either way.
Yeah, it can. It's a crapshoot drop. The team that focuses fire better wins. And dropship 4, they got that drop. 350 rep points they took out of that, and 175 rep points for 1CR. Of course, both teams did get the bonus points because both teams killed 5 of the enemy mechs. So 1CR got 25 points for each mech that they killed, and another 50 points for claiming the bonus. Of course, dropship 4 winning the drop, 300 rep points for the drop, and another 50 points bonus for a total of 350. Now, Nutty, I screwed up and I didn't pull up. I did not pull up the MRBC channel on YouTube.
Okay, I've actually just pulled it up myself just to look at it. But the biggest star of that match that I could see was on the D4 side. I believe it was Spooky Scary Skeleton that really hung back and was able to focus down 1CR without really having a lot of without having a lot of resistance. 1CR was really good, I think, at focusing their fire and calling out targets. But unfortunately, they missed the bigger threat, which was that Hunchback 2C that was really hammering into their backsides. And you can see that in the damage numbers with Spooky taking that high, not only the high damage numbers, but that high number of kills, 5 kills on his own.
Yeah, I got it pulled up. We're seeing it. Yeah, because there is that delay, so it's coming up right towards the beginning of the drop.
So you can see that the Bushwhacker almost pushed over to the right side, but instead just deked behind cover there with that Urban Mech from Act 64, peeking and then pulling back. And you can see that really slick rotation there from D5 in that the Urban Mech peaked, backed up, and then the other Urban Mech peaked. It was such a well-executed kind of chain peak that it actually worked to their favor. You can see here that they had 1CR corralled, but 1CR in the early game, they weren't overly threatened here. They were still together. They were actually up a kill, and then this happened. There's Spooky Scary Skeleton at the first kill, followed by 1CR taking somebody down. You can see that Dropship 4 goes off into their own little battles. 1CR is able to focus a little better, but only at first. And then, unfortunately, because of the mechs that were standing back and were able to shoot at backsides, that's where Dropship 4 really started to get that advantage.
Yeah, it was hard for me to tell because I still don't like that other bug where if you go into a mech in the middle of a match, when you come back out, the kill counter's all messed up. So it was really hard for me to tell after I came out, went back to overview, who exactly was winning. That's why I kept asking you about it. I really thought 1CR was winning, and yeah, turns out Dropship 4 got it. But yeah, it was a fun little brawl.
It was well played by both teams. Like, this was not a this is not an outing that 1CR should be sad about. They just, unfortunately, Dropship 4 just had better positionings apparently. They had better positions during that brawl. They did have a lot of backsides exposed to them, so they were able to really capitalize on it.
I think I'm gonna buy an Xbox controller next so I can control this a little bit better. I don't think the keyboard controls are working very well for me.
Yeah, you really should. I actually have two. I have one that I keep on standby in case the battery for this one goes.
All right, well, that's gonna take us into Drop 2. And Drop 2 is on Terra Firma Conquest. I'm gonna get that all set up here in the lobby. Drop 1, always a crapshoot, but we're going in the Drop 2, Terra Firma Conquest, 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies. So we're get a little bit heavier in this drop. We typically just get a little bit heavier with each drop as we go. So this is the first drop, obviously, to bring in the heavies and a little bit less on the lights.
Yeah, and you can see that 1CR, one thing I did notice is that they did sub somebody out to bring in Eldwin. So I think they might have moved somebody else in. That was just the one name that I recognized there. I wasn't able to see if Dropship 4 subbed anybody in or out, but they are in the midst of getting set up for drop number 2, the first of 4 Conquest maps here for tonight's battle, D4 versus 1CR.
Waiting for the team. Well, Dropship 4 is ready to go. Their lances are locked, so we're just waiting for the go from, and for everybody to ready up from 1CR, and we will be going straight into Drop 2.
And Shad is giving us a hard time. That's that one bird.
What?
Not one beard.
That one bird? What? Who?
That one bird on 1CR's team.
Oh. And now it should be noted that teams do have a total of 15 minutes between drops to go over strats, to sub players, sub mechs. Sometimes players have to leave the lobby to go change out a mech to bring it in for the next drop. Did we talk about the doubles rule?
No, we didn't. We had a chance to do that.
Yeah, okay. Each drop, you're only allowed to bring duels of 1 chassis. So you can, for example, Nightgyres with their heat quirks, the heat or the atmospheric temperature quirks. They it looks like we're ready to go here. Nope, they're not ready to go because Fango's not rated up. But so say on this map here, being a hot map, you wanted to bring 2 Nightgyres, well then all 6 of your other mechs have to be of a completely different chassis. You can only bring 1 double chassis per drop.
Yeah, for sure. All right, looks like Delta 4, Dropship 4 had one of their team members drop out.
I was trying to figure out what was going on there.
Yeah, they lost one of their team members, so they had to pull in somebody else from their roster.
Yep, we're just waiting for him to ready up now, and we will go to drop 2. Dropship 4 is talking about mind farts now.
Ruh-roh. We just need to know.
All right, we're dropping.
There we go.
All right, drop 2, Terra Therma. 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies, Conquest game mode. What are you thinking here, Nutty? I think they're going to brawl.
Most likely. If it's anything like the matches and scrims that we've had, they've really ended up being mainly brawls.
All right, we are in the map. We are just waiting for the drop ships to head in. I just noticed the big planet with rings out in the background above the lava fields on this map. I've never seen that before.
Oh, wow. I'm just going to sit here on the lava lake and look at it. Oh, wait, you guys
It's so pretty. I found a dropship. I'm at the edge of the map. All right, let's get the team info pulled up here. For dropship 4. We got a Jenner D, a Night Gyre A, a Commando 2D, a Night Gyre Prime, a Bushwhacker P1, a Stormcrow Prime, and a Huntsman B. No urban mechs this time.
No urban mechs, but that definitely solidifies that, yeah, this is likely going to be a brawl. Over on the other team, we've got a Javelin, an Assassin, an Ice Ferret, a Bushwhacker, two Warhammer 6Rs, a Mistlynx, and a Hunchback 2C.
Looks like Dropship 4 had the 2 branch off to get Sigma. 1 CR has already gotten Kappa and Gamma. Appears that there's going to be a rush to see who can get the Theta first, although first CR actually makes that move on the Theta. They're going to be quickly outnumbered because they only have 2 mechs looking at it.
Yeah, I think 1 CR, they're just watching. They're waiting for Dropship 4 to make their to go ahead and make their move on Theta. They had the 2 mediums out that were out in front there, but they knew that going into Theta was a risk, and they did the right call there.
They are all gathered up in the back. Both teams now with 2 caps apiece. And it looks like, yep, I think the rush is on.
Yeah, 1 CR has the cap advantage, and there we go. 1 CR is pushing into Theta in force. You can see there's a lot of fire exchanges happening right now. A lot of people from Dropship 4 focusing that Bushwhacker down to...
Yeah, he's out by himself. He doesn't have anybody else around him. He's got 3 mechs looking at him right now, and he goes down quick.
Yeah, 1 CR is getting stuck in that lava, which is bad news.
The Stormcrow's been legged. It also goes down.
We're down 1-1 here. Still anybody's game. Dropship 4 taking some damage from their Bushwhacker. And that Bushwhacker, but from that one bird, goes down. That Warhammer doing a lot of damage there. You see that one bird is suffered for it, though. Act 64 taking him down. That was
yeah, he is dead. 2 down for each team.
Father Bill's got separated from the rest of the unit, and he goes down. Being taken out by Fango Nova.
Looks like Vasilis is being focused over here. He only has 2 mechs on him now. He goes down quick. It's 3 down apiece. A lot of them walking around in that lava. They're generating that heat pretty fast. Damage numbers looking better for Dropship 4. That's 5 down now for First Crucius Recon.
Yeah, we are looking at 4 to 3 here. 4 mechs that are remaining, with Eldwin down as 30%, and Fango Nova takes her down. That's two. It's basically it's 4 on 2, and the 2 that are left are very damaged.
Yeah,
but
they're
both
not...
of those mechs are usually pretty fast moving. You can see where Entric goes down.
There he is.
Down to Camo Man for the 1CR. Camo Man is taking a beating from Dropship 4, but Camo Man goes down, and that is going to be it for this drop. Well, Dropship 4 goes, spreads out, and goes and grabs some caps so they can finalize their victory here. Interesting strategy by 1CR. We can see that they you know, there's a few things that they did right. Is that, you know, their fast mediums that they pulled up. Oh, they're 2 fast mediums, Camo Man and the Assassin, and Eldrin and the Ice Ferret. You know, they approached Theta, but they didn't go into the point unsupported because they knew that they weren't getting there first. And, you know, and it was a smart call on their part because Dropship 4 was waiting for them. And unfortunately, when they did W key in, it did turn into, they did get separated, unfortunately, very quickly. Looking at the damage scores here, you can see that on the Dropship 4 team, this time the MVP for this drop goes to Vasilis in the Huntsman B, 524 damage, but no kills. Spooky Scary Skeleton with 2 kills. Fango Nova in the Night Gyre A. You can see Spooky and Fango were both in Night Gyres.
Yeah,
and that's where the bulk of their kills came from. Metroid was there as well. Wow, 436 damage in that commando.
Neither one of those Night Gyres dying either, and that's dangerous. Those are the 2 heaviest mechs for the team, and neither one of them went down. That probably had a lot to do with the kind of lopsided win there.
Yeah, and I will say that Night Gyres are the best mechs for these particular maps because they're heat neutral mechs. They can handle these hotter maps rather, and not really suffer a heat penalty. Over on the 1CR side, you can see that when they did push in, I think what happened there is 1CR. I think they pushed in to do what they should have done, but unfortunately they chose the wrong spot to do it in. Because when they pushed into when they pushed in, that they were really pushing right into the lava. Dropship 4 rather, they held back far enough that 1CR had to come through the lava to get to them, and they just ended up with a couple mechs out of position. They had first the Bushwhacker with Overton Wolf pushing straight through, and Father Bill getting caught out as well.
Nutty,
sir,
breathe for just a second. Breathe for just a second. I want to go over the score here real quick. Okay. After two drops completed, Dropship 4 is leading 2-0, 700 rep points to First Crucis Recon's 275 rep points. Of course, Dropship 4, they got the 300 again for the win, and another 50 for claiming the bonus for killing 5 enemy mechs to even them out at 700. 1CR, they got 4 kills in that drop, which equated to 100 rep points, which leaves them at 275. All right, we're looking at the start of the match here. Right when the engagement first happened.
So you can see there's the Bushwhacker push, right? He goes right into the lava and then W keys straight in, really trying to focus down that other Bushwhacker. But he gets focused by four members of Delta. He was saying Delta 4, but Dropship 4. In the meantime, you got like there goes system. He got caught out as well. 1CR, they're trying to group up here. They're trying to kind of get their pacing going. But then Father Bill, you can see he's just starting to do this now. He's pushing up with one of his team members, but his other team member pulls back, and then Father Bill is kind of left right into the middle of the Dropship 4 folks.
Yeah, it was very much a brawl like we expected. Dropship 4 just had a little bit of the focus fire, caught a couple of those first CR mechs out early, and it just kind of spelled out there. And first CR, and again, not getting those Night Gyres, not taking out the biggest mechs on the field, the most dangerous mechs on the field. That hurts. That hurts. You gotta you gotta be able to identify which mech is the most lethal when you got mechs on the field that are not affected by the heat and able to carry as much firepower as they can. They've got to be taken out quick, and in this case, neither one of them went down for dropship 4. But it was a good match.
But they weren't. They didn't come out unscathed though. I mean, 1CR were able to take down half of dropship 4, which, I mean, at least they got some kills under their belt, which will help them in the rep points area a little bit. Unfortunately, they didn't get that 5th kill. If they got that 5th kill, that would have gotten them that rep kill bonus.
Yeah, they would have gotten a few more bonus points out of it. All right, well, let's go back to the talk screen here, and we'll see what's going on in the lobby. See how these guys are doing.
Go ahead and switch up to the next game mode. So the next drop, of course, is Caustic Valley, and the time of day is day.
Oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me about that one. That was our biggest script, I think, last week.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember these things.
It's hard to remember it all. Just not doing a radio cast. That's my goal this season. No radio cast this season, but we'll see how that goes. I did not, last drop, I didn't turn off the music. I like to turn off the music during the actual drop, and I did forget to do that.
Uh-oh.
So I'll try to remember that this next drop here.
Yes, folks, don't forget, we are still working out our own little kinks here. This is only the second cast that I've done with RJ for MRBC. Though, of course, RJ and I, you probably heard us during the Safety Seth tournament where we were casting there. I think that's why RJ said, you know what's Nutty, I need you to come cast with me. Because we get that, we like to have fun. There's just a little bit of banter here.
Yeah, I got a couple people that I like to do MRBC casts with. Of course, if you guys remember my cast from last season, I was with Mikado Soul of the 228 Blackwatch. He'll actually be joining me for a couple casts this season as well. He seems really excited to do it. So I'll be going back and forth between Nutty and Mikado. A couple other people have stepped up to cast as well. As we saw, Jarl Dayton is going to be casting. That'll be interesting. I want to see one of his casts.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Jarl does it. I think it'll be I think it'll be an interesting cast, that's for sure. I may or may not. I'll probably tune in. I want to look out. I want to watch. Cheer everybody on. Support the casters.
If he's half as entertaining during the cast as he is in his videos, it'll be a hell of a cast.
All right, we're on to drop 3 with dropship 4 and 1CR. You can see dropship 4 right now is getting their lances set. Looks like they're going Alpha Bravo, which is another good. In all likelihood, it means yet another brawl push here.
Now remember, this is the Commander Assassination Mode, drop 3. So there's 0 lights, 3 mediums, 4 heavies, and 1 assault. And the Commander Assassination Mode means that 1 assault is your Commander mech. If you can destroy the enemy's Commander Assault mech while keeping yours alive, you get the extra 50 rep points. If both remain alive, no rep points are given. No bonus rep points are given, and if both die, no bonus rep points are given.
Mm-hmm.
Caustic Valley, another hot map. I still think we're going to see Brawl, just based off of what these teams have done so far. I think it's going to be Brawl.
I think so. Both teams have announced that they are ready to go. Alpha Bravo for both of them, which means we're gonna see another brawl here. There's no fast mediums heading to grab any other particular points. Epsilon looks like it's going to be left swinging out in the wind, more or less. And we'll see what happens here. Drop number 3, Caustic Valley dropship 4 versus 1CR.
All right, here we go.
And scene.
And music paused. All right, Conquest, another hot map. If they fight in the Caldera, though, I think we'll see some mechs shutting down.
That I was kind of mentioning that before. That Caldera is very brutal. For those of you who don't know, when you're on that Caldera, your heat sinks are way less affected. That is the hottest point in the map.
Actually, one of the hottest points in any map in the game, isn't it?
I think so, because I think your your heat sinks just basically stop working.
Pretty much. Here come the drop ships. All right, dropship 4. I'm actually on the I'm on the 1CR side. I'll read off 1CR's mechs. They got a Dragon 5N, a Warhammer, 2 Warhammer 6Rs, an Atlas D, that is their command mech, a Bushwhacker X2, a Centurion D. Haven't seen one of those yet. A Huntsman C, and a Thunderbolt 5SS. A Thunderbolt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Love seeing some unique mechs coming out. On the dropship 4 side, we've got a Night Gyre. We have Night Gyre. We have a Huntsman. We have 2 Night Gyres. So we have those pair of Night Gyres, which are really going to be really strong for this week. A Warhammer 7S, a Direwolf, which will be their commander mech, Stormcrow, an Orion 2C, and a Bushwhacker. And you can see the direct push from both teams straight up towards Theta. They're only passing through their cap points, Sigma and Gamma, as they get ready to go around the caldera to see who they can find, whether they can catch some slow mechs. Spooky Scary Skeleton using his jump jets to get some vision, some sight lines on the enemy to figure out where they are. Meanwhile, 1CR, they're
just kind of held up. They're kind of, it looks like a very similar thing to what they did on Terra Therma. Oh, yeah.
And there we go. The first shots go right towards Father Bill in that Atlas. Taking a little bit of scratch damage, not too bad, but that's got to rattle them a little bit.
Trying to find Father Bill in the group. Here come, yep, they're doing, dropship 4 is pushing straight into him now. Looks like we're going to be kind of half on the side of the caldera and half in it. Multiple strikes coming down.
And that's something we haven't seen too many, but we see that one. We see who is that? That is Vasilis, and the Huntsman goes charging right into 1CR and gets taken down by that one bird.
Yep. So 1CR getting the first kill. Father Bill working that Atlas. He's got a little bit of fire coming his way. He's got a couple people focused on him, but nothing. Oh, that's starting to happen now.
Yeah, Red Deadeye goes down, but then Father Bill goes and responds by taking down Cyclone Jack.
He's still got really good armor on that mech. I'm thinking he might be able to pull through if he can keep sharing some of that armor. 3 down now for 1CR, 2 for dropship 4.
Yeah, it's still in dropship 4's court here. They do have more mechs on the field, and you can see their commander mech. Where is their commander mech?
It's the Direwolf.
I'm just trying to find it on the thing here. There it is. Commander mech is taking damage. Father Bill down to 25%.
Yeah, he is not looking good.
He's not sitting very comfortable right now. Act 64 in the dropship 4 commander mech, 67%. You can see a lot of battle going on here. Antric in the Dragon 5N trying to pick out people from the side, and Sharian though picks up a kill, and as is Fango Nova.
The Direwolf for dropship 4 is CT crit. They could steal the bonus. Did he go down?
Father Bill is down. The Direwolf is
just down. Went down. Just went down.
Yeah, the Direwolf went down. That means nobody gets any bonus points this drop.
And dropship 4 gonna go on to win drop 3. They just need another cap. Step on Theta, and it's game over.
Yeah, a tough battle for 1CR that round. I think what it is they were really trying to move together, and I think that in some respects that cost them, because they didn't really have full sight lines against dropship 4. Dropship 4 using the Night Gyre, using the benefit of the Night Gyre heat management and those jump jets to be able to get good vision across the map, and also be able to get some long range fire in. Again, those Night Gyres are really, really big on these hotter maps, and we can see that here in the scores. Spooky Scary Skeleton, 1,000 damage.
Yeah.
In that Night Gyre, 2 kills, 6 assists, 601 match score. The other Night Gyre, both Night Gyres did survive that drop. On the other team, that one bird in the Warhammer 6R definitely wasn't, definitely didn't go down without a fight. 689 damage. You can see their Alpha Lance 1 CR. They did get 3 of the 4 did get a kill. Father Bill getting a kill in the commander mech, but unfortunately did end up losing this drop. So good play on both Dropship 4's part and 1 CR's, but really the match, really that drop does go to Dropship 4.
Yeah, they had a pretty commanding victory on that one. And again, Spooky Scary in the Nightshire. That is something that you can't ignore him. You can't. He clearly knows what he's doing in that mech. You really can't ignore him. But coming out of 3 drops now, Dropship 4 obviously having the lead, 3 drops to 0, 1,000 rep points to 1 CR's 350. That's going to take us into drop 4. But before we do that, let's pull up the replay here and take a look at what's happening.
And you can see in the replay that 1 CR, they're just getting into position. You can see Camelman is trying to get some sight lines, I think, here, or possibly looking to see if Dropship 4 was going to be moving around the other side of the caldera. But I mean, they wanted to pressure into Theta, but they didn't move in aggressively. There's nobody from Dropship 4 peeking at Theta, so they could have probably got a sliver cap on it. But instead, they opted to wait with their team. You can see Dropship 4. Their team was moving very well together. They had a lot of mobility. And their Spooky Scary Skeleton using the jump jets of that Night Gyre to really get some visibility, get some sight lines on 1 CR.
Hey, Nutty, I'm gonna let the replay go. I'll be right back.
All right. So as you can see, we got everyone's kind of lining up, getting some pot shots back and forth, and you'll see Father Bill in the Atlas taking some missile fire early on there. You see, there's one of the strikes that goes down, dropped right behind them, and it was an artillery strike. You don't really see artillery strikes, or at least I haven't seen them much in MRBC, but that was probably one of the few times where artillery strikes can really do a lot of damage. 1 CR was unfortunately grouped up quite well for an artillery strike. And a second one did go off there, taking them down quite a bit. Let's just let this play a little bit there. You can see that this is really very much a brawl. Dropship 4, they were really working on trying to focus more on group targets rather than individual targets. 1 CR, I think they caught maybe a little bit, I won't say that they got overwhelmed, but with a lot of targets of opportunity out there, perhaps they weren't able to focus down on single targets there. They definitely did do some damage though. They did get an early kill against Dropship 4, but ultimately,
very well placed strikes. Airstrikes and arty strikes here too. I wonder if even a little bit of team damage was caused by a couple of the placements of these, but yeah,
quite possibly.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I'm just seeing the strikes come down. I mean, it looks like 1 CR even got a couple of really nice ones on Dropship 4. I just don't think it was quite enough, but you're definitely seeing the strikes working here.
Yeah, the drop. As I mentioned earlier, Dropship 4 got a couple of artillery strikes, not just airstrikes, but artillery strikes, and they landed it so well. And you can see there goes the commander mech for Dropship 4.
I can see the. We always bring airstrikes, obviously, with our drops. When a team is in a big brawl like that, though, if they're just in a big blob like that, I can see the arty being very effective because you're gonna be able to hit so many more of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's see. What map are we going to now?
It's drop number 4, which means it's Tourmaline.
Yes, Tourmaline. Thank you. I think I'm still a little hungover from the happy hour show yesterday. I'm trying to drink some caffeine here.
All right, looks like they have 1CR has subbed out at least one person for its Dryler tag. I believe Dropship 4 has swapped out somebody as well, possibly. So they've made their roster switches for their next drops. And now let's just wait for the 2 lances to get locked, and we can move into drop 4, Tourmaline Desert. Dropship 4 versus 1CR.
Now, Tourmaline Desert, this is typically... I mean, when you watch any of the upper division matches in MRBC and you see them on Tourmaline, what are you seeing? You're seeing snipers poking up from the tops of the crystals. You know, you got people with long range on stage and Delta 5. Echo 4 at that ridge by the base of or at the top of the ditch. You got all these different spots where you see that trade going out and where you see the strikes being thrown from. Here, I don't think we're going to see that. Call me crazy. I don't think we're going to see a trade war here.
No, I mean, who knows? Like we've seen so far, we've seen 3 brawl drops. Both teams look to be ready. We're just waiting for them to green up. But yeah, they're Alpha Bravo again. So they're going to be Alpha Bravo and Alpha Bravo, which means we could see the fight right into Theta.
Yeah, I bet you we will.
Straight in.
Right in Theta or the back side of the stage. That Delta 6 area, I think it is. Maybe it's not Delta 6. I can't remember what that grid coordinate is there. But the back side of the stage where Ace's Wild was on Tuesday. Remember when?
Yeah, that's the Delta 5 kind of little valley there, right near the Alpha Lens drop for Team 1.
Yeah.
So hopefully that doesn't end up there, because that's a tough area to fight yourself out of. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think you're right, RJ. I think we're going to be looking for another brawl here.
Yeah, I don't know. My fortune telling abilities have grown greater over the course of this match, and I see many brawl, many brawl.
All right, looks like both teams are ready to go.
Well, sort of.
Oh, hang on. Let's I see Sorry ready. Let's get a confirmation from them.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Axe hasn't readied up yet. Okay, 1CR ready. Where did I type that? 1CR ready. See how they respond here.
I believe they are, because they did say locked and ready at the very top, and then they D4 had a couple issues.
Yeah, they're good. Drop 4. Here we go. Tourmaline Desert. This is the flank engagement, and this is the engagement that most people think of when they think 8v8 comp. 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults. Of course, we saw a lot of this during Worlds 2016, and again at Worlds 2017.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a lot of long-range trade on this map. And let's see what happens with the brawl.
I found a dropship.
Chad is predicting 5 drops of brawl incoming.
Nah, it can't be. They wouldn't do that. Dropships are just kind of hanging here. Here we go. Dropships incoming. Oops. What did I do there?
Raging Banana is asking me to keep the camera up a little higher.
Camera up a little higher. Okay, so last year I got complaints that it was up too high, and they wanted the camera more lower and in their face.
Well, let's go ahead and introduce the teams. Go ahead with Dropship 4, sir.
Basilius and a Huntsman B, Fango Nova and a Nightgyre A, Cyclone Jack, Hunchback 2C. We also got a Hellbringer A, Commando 2D, and Annihilator 2A. Make that 2 of those, and a Jenner D. A lot of Jenner Ds today.
before we get into the thing, we can see that it's Dryler Tag and Father Bill taking some early damage from Dropship 4 as they work to group up their team. Over in the Fox 6 area, it looks like Dropship 4 might be doing a little bit more long range, and 1CR is definitely setting up for a brawl. You can see that 1CR has a Bushwhacker and a Ryan 2C, a Mistlynx, an Evanjag, an Annihilator, a Wolfhound, a Mauler, and another Hunchback. Oh, probably they only have one Hunchback, sorry. So they don't have any duplicates this time around, so this is all individual mechs.
Yeah, you're right. Not a single duplicate. It's interesting.
Meanwhile, Dropship 4 has 2 Annihilators, so that's going to be scary. But wonder what's going on with the with these. So we have that one bird in its Annihilator, and it's the quad LB10 2 medium laser build. Meanwhile, the Mauler is 2 heavy Gauss 6 ER small. So they're definitely set up for a brawl, that's for sure.
Yeah, this brawl's already happening pretty close to Theta too. Imagine that. But they have, well, the Dropship 4, like you said, they're kind of spread out. They're set up more for long range. I don't think 1CR exactly knows how to do this. I'm actually liking this. Spooky Scary taking down
Taking down the Mauler, taking down one of the assaults. The Mauler, I think, was caught out of position by those 2 Annihilators. The Annihilators seem to be doing being the long-range trade there with the Night Gyre as well. 1CR, on 1CR side, that one bird, and that Annihilator taking a lot of damage. You can see that the Annihilator itself is down. Oh, the Annihilator's been halved. He's down to 2 LB10s. 1CR grouping up the backside of Echo 6, looking to possibly get a retrieve, but Bombing Jupiter taking some damage in that Evanjag from that strike from Dropship 4.
Yeah, they're heading back into that low ground that we were talking about. Unless they try to peek through window here to get back up onto the stage area, they could get caught in this area back here that we know to be a very bad place for mech teams to be. We got a nice little light fight happening between Metroid and who is that? Dana Fowl?
Dana Fowl. Yeah, looking at the Annihilators on the Dropship 4 side, they are definitely set up for range. Ultra AC5s and AC10s. Cyclone Jack from Dropship 4 taking some damage, but definitely doing some trade there with Gyler and Bombing Jupiter. That one bird in the Annihilator 2A for 1CR down to 40%. Father Bill 64%. Watching the flank, Red Eye is taking a look on the window side as well, but seeing that Jenner and pulling back.
So many of 1CR, you know, in that little window space, that little funnel point. Dropship 4 just has great little positions all around them. It doesn't really look like 1CR has a whole lot of spot to move there. I think those guys are going to die right there in window.
Yeah, you can see that a strike was attempted against 1CR, but most of the strike went off of the spires. But there goes Cyclone Jack taking down his Dryler Tag.
And Father Bill dying too.
Taking down Father Bill. You can see that 1CR, they were a little spread out, but now but you can see they're on the back side of the spires here. Dropship 4 having unfettered access to them from the stage.
Just excellent map control the whole time.
Very patient. Eldwin the Bushwhacker peeking, but seeing the whole Dropship 4 team there. Bombing Jupiter, not knowing what to do. Getting hammered in the back by the Commando. But Spooky Scary Skeleton taking down Bombing Jupiter.
That Bushwhacker's also getting ready to fall right now, and he does go down. Just the one mech left, and he is currently out capping.
And I guess trying to see if they're able to do anything with the cap game here. Where did that mech he was part of the fight, and then I think he saw the writing on the wall and said, "You know what? Let me try."
I think he's been capping this whole time. Let's take a look at him here.
Yeah, 96%. He's taking a bit of damage.
Ooh, 4%. I think that's just fall damage.
Oh, I see damage all over. He got some back damage. Nothing cord though.
Yeah, that's the only thing 1CR can do now is try to keep cap points, but with Dropship 4 having 8 mechs on the field still, this one little mech is just not going to be able to keep up. At some point here, Dropship 4 is just going to start claiming all these caps, and that one little mech is not going to be able to keep up with it. They don't have a big enough cap lead to even really worry about it right now.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's possible that the Mistlings might be able to take a mech or two with them, and that's probably the best that they can ask for here at this point.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would try to do, because at least you could salvage a couple rep points out of it.
Yeah, hopefully being able to take down Cyclone Jack or Astinius.
Oh, look at this. The Mist Lynx is running right by Facilius. Oh, Facilius sees him.
And there we go. We can see the brawl has started. Red Deadeye trying to stay very close to the Huntsman here, doing the Orbit of Death with those machine guns. But you can see that Red Dead is cored in the rear center torso, which spells trouble for him. But not going down without a fight, taking the Huntsman down to 65%. As he focuses that machine gun fire, let's take a quick peek and look. Let's take a quick peek at the Huntsman and see what's left.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad, actually, all things considered. I don't think that Mist Lynx can hold up to him. But now the Mist Lynx is being double tagged. He's got the Hellbringer A looking at him. I don't think he's going to be around much longer. And there he goes. He's down. Dropship 4 coming out of this virtually unscathed.
Yeah, able to win with all 8 mechs rather on the field. Drop 4, Tourmaline Desert, Delta 4. Keep on saying Delta. I say Delta 4, and I think Delta 4. Dropship 4 taking it over 1 CR, 8 mechs to none.
All right, they're gonna get the bonus as well. Oh, that's gonna be a huge boost there for Dropship 4. 8-0. 8-0 win.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Let's take a look at the YouTube feed here. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting there. I'm just now getting back to the talk screen here.
Yeah, no problem.
Dropship 4, 1,350 rep points. 1 CR still holds fast at 350 rep points. Going to take us into Drop 5, River City, Course Conquest, and we will get to that here in just a minute. Yeah, let's get the YouTube feed pulled up, because this was an interesting setup on Dropship 4's part. I actually really enjoyed seeing this over what we have been seeing the whole time.
Well, this is I'll say this is a very similar situation that we watched with the Aces Wild match. Because kind of the exact same thing happened, because Aces Wild walked across the map and ended up in behind the stage, and then just kept going. But the problem is that they kept going, but meanwhile one CR kind of turned around and tried to focus Dropship 4. The problem though is that Dropship 4 was in a really good position, but they have the spires to their favor. They've got the higher ground. Unfortunately, 1 CR was just caught in a very difficult position.
The way that they had those Annihilators positioned up there, just laying down that fire, that covering fire the whole time too, was just, I mean, this was close to textbook.
Mm-hmm.
Close to textbook, and it was, yeah, I liked it. Yeah. I liked it a lot.
It was a great execution by Dropship 4, being very patient, not overextending. The positioning of those 2 Annihilators was really good. I did get a chance to look at those 2 Annihilators. One had AC-10s and the other one had UAC-5s on it. So they had the mid trade and the long range really covered with those 2 Annihilators, and of course just a ton of DPS for that setup. So they were able to use them very effectively.
Yeah, at this point in the VOD, there's only the 2 mechs left. It was just it was a romp. It was a romp.
All right, let's go ahead and get set up for Drop 5, River City Daytime.
Sure. All right, River City. Day is set. All right, we're just waiting on the teams now. Going into these matches. Oh, you know what we didn't do, Nutty? After Drop 3. Yeah, we didn't drop for the giveaway. You want to do that now, and then we'll do another one at the close of the stream?
Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and draw. It's for a MWO care package, right?
Yep, I'm going to draw the names. I'm going to add the names manually, or add them all from the channel. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to type anything in, and even if you're not present at the time when you win, you'll still get your prize. This is kind of you were here, The alert box got you. I'm just gonna get rid of Moobot from the winner list because Moobot has won before. All right, this is an MWO care package, 24 hours of premium time, a mech bay, and 1,000 MC. And remember, if you win, to send me a Twitch whisper. I mean, we'll write down stuff, but send me a whisper so that I can just easily and quickly get your codes to you once the stream is done. And here we go, Nutty. Alright, there she spins. Nutty can't see it, so I have to kind of talk him through it.
I can't see anything.
It's spinning, man, it's spinning!
I mean, at least I can see what's going on in the lobby, so you know both teams are ready to go.
Alright.
For this last drop, and of course, we'll do the giveaway first.
Alright, we're slowing down, and Chief Dan, CHEIFTDAN, is our first winner. Congratulations. We will write that down. In fact, I'm going to write that down right now. Some stuff around here so I can see. Oh. I just, do you know the Windows shake thing?
Yes.
I just shook everything off my desktop.
Oh no.
I can't see anything.
I hate it when that happens.
Oh,
hopefully my
so
camera's still there.
Annoying. No, your camera is not there. But it is now. Okay, we're good. Gosh. Windows. All right,
everything was going too smooth. We had to have something go bad.
Yeah, I just got to write down this guy's name so that we don't lose it, and then we can go into this next drop. Okay. CHEIFTDAN. All right, got it. I'm going to shrink that. I'm going to put this back up here where it can go up there, and I'm going to shrink this, get all my windows back in place here. That's so annoying. All right, you ready, Nutty?
I'm ready, and the teams are as well. Let's take a quick peek at the way that the lances are configured. You can see that Dropship 4 is actually...
Well, they can't see that because I don't go to that screen until after we do the drop.
All right. So you know what? Then we'll just...
When we drop...
Wait.
Yeah, we'll drop.
We'll see them. Let's drop. Let's drop and have some fun.
That was one of those things that Bandit taught me when he was going over streaming with me. He said, he told me, I don't go to the next screen until it's time to drop. Kind of leaves the guessing game going with the viewers. He gave me a couple of reasons for it. And so that's kind of always the way I've done it ever since. Because who can argue with Bandit?
You're not wrong there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you try, but you might be wrong.
All right, 4 assaults. River City. Last drop. This is 1CR's last chance to try to salvage a win from this match. Oh, I gotta turn off the music.
And switch your seat.
Cena switch. I got that part. It's just a matter of getting the... Why didn't my music turn off? There we go. Dropships are coming in. All right, from the Dropship 4 side, we got a Commando 2D, an Orion VA, a Linebacker D, an Annihilator, 2 Annihilator 2As, a Mad Cat 2, a Cyclops 10Q, and that Jenner D.
And over in the 1CR, we've got a Hellbringer Prime, an Arctic Cheetah, a Mad Cat Mark II B. They got 2 Mad Cats. They have the B and the 2, an Ebon Jag B, and a Highlander 2C, an Annihilator, and a Wolfhound.
Okay, the Commando 2D Metroid, the D4 leader, has quickly taken Gamma, yeah, that's Gamma there. They've also got Kappa. 1CR only has Sigma now. Now, take a look at some of these builds. I want to see what's in that Mad Cat. I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to be, but I just want to double check. Yes, 2 Gauss rifles, 2 ER medium lasers, and 2 heavy large lasers. That's interesting. I was expecting ER larges.
So over with the with one CR, the two Mad Cat Mark IIs, we do have one set up in a brawl. With the other one, that's a Mad Cat Mark II, Mark II 2, and then we got the B with this, which is the standard DACA build, the 2 UAC 5, 2 UAC 10s. The Annihilator on their team, hang on a second, is 4 LB 10s, and then let's go ahead and try to take a look at the Highlander. Let's take a look and see what their assaults are bringing to the table here. The Highlander has an Ultra 20. 3 medium pulse lasers, 2 SRM6s with the Artemis, but they have a lot of AMS here, so they are trying to counter some SRM spam, I guess, or the possibility of maybe some ATMs.
The Annihilators over here are all UACs, UAC 10s or UAC 5s. Take your pick. They can definitely pull some range with those UAC 5s for sure.
The 2 lights from 1CR, the Arctic Cheetah and the Wolfhound, have made their way over to Kappa, trying to get a second point. Meanwhile, Dropship 4 now has the cap advantage. They were able to take Theta, and now their lights have worked around the backside towards Sigma to get a 4 cap. Meanwhile, the 1CR folks, they are pushing across the water using the hotel line as cover. Dropship 4 is lining up in the over in the airport area. Over in the upper airport, looking for sight lines against 1CR.
Yeah, 1CR hanging way back, like you said, on that hotel line. Back in the buildings, getting close to the Citadel area, but they seem really strung out. Of course, their assaults being very slow and in the back. It's a kind of a very strung out line.
Yeah,
D4 should be getting shots on them any second now. Yep, here they go.
Yeah, there we go. The D4 is able to pull back their lights with they're kind of more or less unscathed, a little bit of scratch damage when they ran across the water there, but their lights were able to get into Sigma and out.
There's a
more or less unchallenged.
Nice little arty strike on 1CR. I'm not sure how much damage it did. It might have done a little bit, but pretty close.
See, 1CR splitting their group up in 2. They have. It looks like they've got their assault, their 2 Mad Cats and their Ebonjag by the Citadel. Dropship 4 dropping an arty strike and not really catching a lot of damage. But Red Eye taking a massive hit down to 96%.
1CR pushing towards the airport right now. D4 having that commanding position up top. As we know how that goes, Nutty.
We've been on the other end of this. We've been on the 1CR side and on the Dropship 4 side. We know how it can be from either side. Red Deadeye in the Mad Cat Mark II 2 is pretty damaged here.
Yeah.
He's been halved.
Down to 64%. That Wolfhound trying to push up the right-hand side for 1CR, but quickly pushed back.
They have a Mad Cat. What? Oh, this is brilliant of Dropship 4. They've got this Mad Cat Mark II 1 sitting in gardens, able to do a lot of crossfire damage to 1CR. You see Red Deadeye, both the Mad Cats from 1CR taking a lot of damage as the first Mad Cat Mark II goes down on the 1CR side. Detroit for the Commando with 56% on Dropship 4, but otherwise Dropship 4 is pretty well situated.
5 of the 1CR mechs pushed up the right side of the airport. They take down one of the D4 mechs that was at the Cyclops 10Q. These mechs are
strike came in.
Yeah, strikes. But I think these guys are about to be outnumbered with all the weight that D4 has up there. The linebacker pushing in by himself on the 1CR mechs from D4. I don't think he's going to live long if he keeps doing that.
Oh, he's not alone. He's got the Orion backing him up. System showing up. It's 2v1. We see Bombing Jupiter took down Cyclone Jack System. Belmont takes down another. You see 1CR down 4 mechs. Dropship 4 down 2.
That Ryan for D4 now up there all by himself. I'm seeing a couple of these pushes by mechs that don't have immediate support right away.
Yeah, that one bird goes down. Both of the heavy hitters from 1CR are down, and the last
That's
two
it.
mechs just get destroyed there by Dropship 4.
Wow.
With the end of this first week for Dropship 4 and 1CR with 5 drops to 0.
All right, I'm gonna fix the fix the overlay numbers. You want to point out the notable players there.
Let's take a look at the damage that, as expected, the Annihilators on the Dropship 4 team did a ridiculous amount of damage. 700 damage for Spooky and 672 for Vorlon. Those were the two Annihilators that they had to worry about. Again, those Annihilators set up for DACA builds, so they have a lot of sustained fire that they can really bring down on the group.
What was the mech they had in the gardens? What was the mech that Dropship 4 had in the gardens?
So that was Fango Nova in the Mad Cat Mark II 1, and he had 510 damage himself, and with 1 kill and 6 assists. That mech in the garden was a risky decision by Dropship 4, but one that really paid out. They were able to corral 1CR to kind of do that push up into the airport. They couldn't go to the other side. They couldn't go water side because of that Mad Cat Mark II that was sitting in gardens and just punishing them as they were walking by.
Well, with all 5 drops completed, Dropship 4 winning 5 drops to 0 over 1CR with a total of 1,700 rep points to 1CR's even 400. A very decisive victory from Dropship 4. You know, 1CR, Father Bill's unit, very good group of guys, but I think Dropship 4 was getting a little bit of benefit from being such close friends with Dropship 5. You think it was showing there just a little bit?
I think so.
When you share a team speak with one of the top competitive units in the game, some of that is bound to rub off on you just a little bit. That's kind of how I see it there.
Well, yeah, I mean, you get the benefit of, I'll say, the wisdom from the folks from over at Dropship 5 to kind of help prop up Dropship 4. You can see that they actually have a Dropship 5 member in their roster.
Yeah, I saw that.
So they do have, there is a little bit of overlap with Dropship 4 and Dropship 5. You know, friends, and I guess also in kind of roster support there. So you can really see that, you know, Dropship 4 was being, you know, they're very patient in their gameplay, but at the same time, they're also being very aggressive. They weren't overextending, but they also weren't hanging back. You can see on the 1CR side, you know, they were, I think when they lost their first drop there, that it really kind of possibly threw them off their game a little bit. And you can see that they're a little bit hesitant to kind of make some aggressive pushes. Or at the very least, their aggressive pushes were delayed, and unfortunately, that cost them. There were some interesting moves that were on the 1CR side that I think tried to help them, and they were able to turn around and get some kills from it. But it was definitely Dropship 4's game.
Yeah, I'm watching the replay right now. It is so hard if you have a team that's embedded in that airport with good firing lines and heavy mechs. It's really hard to get up there and take it. That watching the replay right now, seeing that Dropship 4 had the cap lead, knowing that all of their mechs were up there, to me personally, I think the best thing to do then would be to grab some of the extra cap points, turn it into a three cap advantage on 1CR's favor to have that, and that would force Dropship 4 to take some of their mechs down off of the airport. But it wasn't quite how it was played.
And I kind of have a sneaking suspicion that I didn't notice that their lights were moving overly fast, so it's possible that their lights weren't speed tweaked or didn't have a large engine in them or anything like that.
That's
good. I didn't get a chance.
Good observation there.
I didn't get a chance to actually look into any of the light mechs. I was kind of focusing really on the heavy hitters. But I did notice that the light movements were a little sluggish, and having that speed tweak, having the larger engine, you know, like not being afraid of the XL engine and the Wolfhound, for instance, would really help them with their mobility and the ability to be able to kind of, you know, take advantage over caps.
Yeah, decisive victory though from Dropship 4, 5-0, all the rep points almost. Very good work on Dropship 4's part. Very good work.
And you know what? All props to the 1CR as well.
Yeah. Just. I mean, props to any of these teams competing, because competitive MWO, competitive any game, is hard unless you got teams and players that are willing to put in that time for practice and to learn the better mechs, to learn the strats, all that stuff. So props to all these teams that are competing in MRBC this season. And it's a hard thing to do, and it can be very nerve-wracking, as well as you certainly learned on Thursday night. But
maybe.
Yeah. All right, kids. Well, we have one more giveaway we're going to do. We didn't invite the team captains to come in and talk to us from this one because Nutty and I are trying out something new with Discord. We don't really have that ability. Because if we leave the channel that we're in, we're going to lose video feeds and have to deal with volumes again. So we didn't invite the team captains in to talk to us this time because we wanted to try out this new method of delivering the video. Although, I mean, I correct me if I'm wrong. I think the volumes were a little bit better, weren't they? I mean, we had a couple complaints in the beginning.
I mean, I think there was just I was a little bit quiet, which, I mean, hey, that's way better than last time when I was literally, I think I was distorting for most of the drop. But hopefully, I haven't unmuted the stream, so I don't know how well I'm sounding. Let me just do that now. I'm gonna risk something here. You won't be able to hear it, but I will. Let me just get to the stream here. Yeah, I'll say you sound good.
Oh, thanks. I did discover a problem with my OBS that I think I alleviated.
Gotcha.
I am hearing some stuff about toxicity in the Twitch chat. Are you seeing anything?
I did hear some people saying that. I hope everybody that's watching that keep in mind these competitive circumstances. I mean, everybody is here to have a good game and to have fun. So, if we can, let's keep the chats civil.
All right, we're gonna do the final giveaway for an MWO care package. We go to the giveaway screen, get the music paused. I'm gonna remove Moobot. Moobot, you go away. And we are spinning MWO care package, 24 hours of premium time, a mech bay, and 1,000 MC. Spinning now, Nutty.
All right, take a look to see who wins. You can see the chat is asking for Act 64 for interview.
Is he? Are they?
Yeah, they're going Act 64 for interview. Act 64 was in the Cyclops and Dropship 4 for the final drop.
Skoy! Congratulations! SCOY Skoy. I'm going to write him down real quick, this time without dumping all of the windows on my screen.
Yes, please do. Please do.
All right. Well, I am getting messages on Discord, but if I click away from this, we lose video, right?
Yeah.
Get a message from the Silken. Let me see what... Oh, I shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that. Actually, I'm going to block out your... I'm going to block out your video real quick.
Sure.
I'm just going to grab this and... Nope. I'm going to grab this and just put it up here and make it bigger. All right. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, no. It was nothing important. I did all that for nothing. All right. All right, yeah, we're gonna call the stream here real quick before we go, guys. Pull up the MRBC. We do have plenty of casts coming up, and you can see all of this at mrbcleague.com. Right on the home page, right in this section right here, you can see all the upcoming matches, and any of the matches that have these Twitch icons next to them, those are matches being cast. I have kind of extra privs on here because I have caster control privs, but here we can see the list of casts coming up. Chorus Dropship 4, 1CR happened tonight. Phoenix Legion and Eon Synergy, a Div A match for the European division, is going to be casted by Den Airwalker. That's coming up on the 15th of April.
Oh, that'll be a great match to watch.
That's today. That's tomorrow.
Oh.
That's tomorrow. That's Sunday. And of course, Mech the Dane. Now a caster, going to be casting Goon versus Sig. That'll be a fun. That's a Division C match, I believe. That'll be a lot of fun. And then Nutty and I will be back on Tuesday with the Black Watch North America Div A match. Black Watch 42 and 42, the answer. And then I'll be back again on the 22nd of April for the Davian Strike Force versus Goon in that Division C match. Was that Division B? I can't remember. It might be Division B. But I'll be doing that one with the Mad Dog Mikado Soul from the 228 Black Watch. He'll be casting that one with me.
Excellent. Just as a public service announcement to all the team captains and all the other comp teams that might be watching here, just a friendly reminder that Tuesday is patch day. The patch notes for Tuesday are up, so you, if you haven't already done so, make sure you take a good look at those patch notes. A lot of changes are coming, so make sure you are fully up to speed with the changes that are coming to MechWarrior Online.
Yeah, yep, a lot of changes. Well, again, congratulations to Dropship 4 for the very decisive victory tonight. Nutty, I hope you had a good cast. I enjoyed it for the most part here. I think we're good.
I think we did. I think it went really well. Congratulations to both Dropship 4 and to 1CR for their games tonight. Even though Dropship 4 did take them, it was well played by both teams. Congratulations to both you guys both your teams for a match well done.
Yeah. Well, that's it for us, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you in the next MRBC cast.
Good night, Mech Warriors.